She blinded me with science. So that was just an explanation where the episode came from, because they don't get to do many of those since not many episodes are based off of songs. And okay, so let's start. Hey guys, DoFin21. Let's start talking about this episode. First off, they add a narration, showing that Saban can't think of original ideas anymore. They're ripping off Mighty Morphin with the concept, teenagers with attitude in high school and a mentor and a robot buddy. The Samurai Ninja Storm had the opening that probably won't change no matter how much actually happens in the show. And then all this stuff that's homages to other series. But, you know, maybe I'm just being hard on it since I sort of liked this, although this episode was like, um, comparatively, um, Transformers 3 had less fight scenes in the entire movie comparatively to how much of the episode is a fight scene. Because in Transformers 3, at least there was an extended period where you didn't see the Transformers at all. I mean, sure, people hated that, but at least it gave a break from all the action. In this first, like, although it's weird. Okay, so here's how it goes. The episode begins with the narration, and then it starts with the science teacher giving them a pop quiz, and Jake doesn't like him. Noah tells him he's good. Troy remembers earlier that morning that he met up with one of the aliens who is probably going to be like a Decker type person, because he wants to fight, but Troy didn't want to. And then the teacher falls asleep, which before he said there were no talking during the pop quiz. He falls asleep, and they're the best behaved class I've ever seen because nobody talks during the test. I mean it, like, shows him asleep and all the other kids are actually working on the pop quiz. That's completely unbelievable. I mean, sure, this is Power Rangers, but still, that is completely unbelievable. Cause I've been in classes where all the teacher will do is just walk outside the door and stand right outside the door, and people will stop doing their work and start talking to other people and stuff. So yeah, that's completely unbelievable. And the teacher tries to do a Rubik's Cube, and then he falls asleep. And then Gia finishes her test because I guess she's smart. First episode didn't really focus on that. They focused more on Noah and Emma being the sort of smart ones. And I don't know. Then the teacher falls out of his desk, and Noah tries to help him, and then Jake tries to get Gia to walk home with him, and yeah, if you notice, really I haven't said anyone's name who's done anything in this episode yet, besides Gosei, since he doesn't really appear until the last 5 minutes, but he's not really a main character, he's sort of a mentor figure and stuff. But yeah, Emma doesn't appear in the episode until about 9 minutes into it. And I don't mean like she gets a line and she's just standing there being silent. No, we don't see her for 9 minutes of the episode. I mean, that's sort of a long time for a 30-minute episode, not seeing someone for 9 minutes when they're one of the main characters. and then she appears on her bike. It's like the only time she's on. It's like she's on her bike, just say, "Oh yeah, I exist too," and then she rides off, and then she's the one who gives all the information about what the alien's doing. Like he says, doing an experiment. He's a scientist trying to figure out what makes the humans tick and what weapons will work best on humans and stuff. And then Jake and Gia see that there's aliens and they go follow him. Gia wants to tell the others, but Jake thinks they can handle it because he wants to spend time alone with Gia. Ethan finds out that the teacher is a big follower of the like pseudo scientific weird stuff like aliens, Loch Ness monster, Bigfoot, all that type of stuff, which no one knows that aliens exist. So and then they fight. Gia and Jake fight the monster who kidnapped a whole bunch of humans, and they make like I don't know whether it's supposed to be a reference or not, but they tell the humans to stop crying, which is the exact opposite of last year's plan where the Nylok wanted everyone to cry. I don't know if they did it on purpose because it's like, stop crying, we're doing this for science. And so I don't know whether that was a disparaging remark on samurai or not. Anything, I'm just gonna say they were trying to reference it. So, anyways, and then let's see what happens. Then they call the other Rangers because they can't handle it on their own. Jake, no, not Jake, Troy appears immediately. Like, immediately, like they call him. He seems like to be walking somewhere, and then next shot, he's there. Don't know how long it took because Emma was on her bike and she took a little longer than that. In fact, they do the thing where it's like, the Rangers are getting defeated. And then the other Ranger, and then the other Ranger that hasn't been fighting comes in and saves the day from on top of the cliff. They do that twice. Once with Emma and once with Noah. I mean, really? The second time you do it in the same episode? I mean, I'm pretty sure that was in the Sentai since it was all, they were all costumed, it was all stuff, but really? Twice in the same episode? I mean, I don't really. I mean, it's sort of like going back to Transformers. It's sort of like when it looks like they're going to be defeated, but then they get saved by the Transformers at the last moment. They do that a lot in those movies. And every time they do it, it's like, oh, when are they going to come? When are they going to come? When are they going to come? Oh, okay, there they are. It really. Okay, so, anyways. Then there's the whole. There's Zords. I don't know if I'm hearing this right, but I believe they're called the Mecha Zords. And then they all join together to form the Megazord. So it's the Mecha Zords and the Megazord, which that won't get confusing because they'll never use the Mechazords on their own again, even though they were shown to be very powerful fighters. And the only reason they won with the Megazord instead of the Mechazords is because the villain decided to be stupid and powered down for their Megazord fight. I mean, like, when they were all in their individual Zords, he was splitting up and doing all this crazy stuff, and then when they get into the Megazord, he doesn't even do it once. Maybe in the Sentai they powered him down, but in Power Rangers, no, they just get in the Megazord and he doesn't do it again. He doesn't. It, they probably could have won in the Megazords if he hadn't have done that. Or, I don't know, maybe something weird with the thing. I don't know. But yeah, the rest of it's just a fighting, and then this comes in the same old. I call it the problem with the Megazord battles. Here's my main problem with Megazord battles. 9 times out of 10, the situation is already solved before the Megazord battle even happens. What do I mean by that? Well, like in this episode, he kidnaps humans and puts them in nets that they can't seem to break. They destroy the monster the first time, the nets are broken and everyone runs away. Meaning the Megazord battle is practically pointless since they're fighting in an uninhabited area. They're not even fighting in a city, they're fighting in like a quarry or something. Well, really, it's more of a beach, but there's nobody there. That's the big point. There's nobody there. The Megazord battle is practically pointless. I mean, like, Team Spirit of Power Ranger Samurai did it good because even though the monster was defeated the first time, the spirits weren't released then. It wasn't until the Megazord battle was over that the spirits were released. And I like when they have the Megazord battles actually have to mean something because it makes you interested in what's going to happen. I mean, sure, you know they're gonna win, but it at least makes you a little more invested in the whole scheme of things because otherwise, oh, Megazord battle time. Switch to a different channel because really there's no point in watching this. And then after the Megazord battle, um, Gosei tells them they did a good job. Uh, uh. Oh, wait, no, during the fighting, I forgot this, during the fight, my favorite moment of the episode. Troy fires missiles right at Emma to hit the monsters behind her, sure, but he fires them right at Emma. I mean, since this is their first episode with the Zords, it would have been funny if he actually hit her with one of them. I mean, sure, it would probably damage her beyond repair, but I mean, seriously, he fires missiles straight into her, and she can't see anything because she's flying right up into the sun. She can't see a thing. She's lucky that those missiles didn't hit her. Although I know what this probably means for Troy and Emma. Man, Noah always gets left out of everything, doesn't he? I mean, he's the only water one, so when he had problems underwater, he was the only one who could fix it. And from what I'm guessing, the sixth ranger's gonna be like a whole... It's a robot ranger or something. And will have power over all animals or something. So maybe he'll team up with Noah most of all, since Noah's the one who actually needs his help a lot. Since he's the only water-based ranger. But yeah. And so... Oh yeah, and they're Zords. They're animal vehicle hybrids. I mean, the dragon is part dragon, part plane. The phoenix is part phoenix, part jet. Now, before you say they're the same thing, they're not. His is like, Troy's is like a commercial airliner, and it's like a jet, like a military jet, like Phoenix, like basically Emma's taking over Taylor. Since she is the Wild Force girl, since she is the eco-friendly person, so yeah, she's Taylor. Except in Zord and color. And she's actually sort of nice. Gia's the one who's sort of mean. Well, she's the Yellow Ranger, so she's technically... Both the girls are Taylor. Okay. And then, let's see. Jake is Snake and Train. And then there's Gia is Saber-Tooth Tiger and Bulldozer. She really got the short stick on the vehicle, didn't she? I mean, at least the others can go sort of fast. I mean, and his was like one of those trains that like glides. It's not like a chugga chugga chugga. No, it was one of those trains. So she got the short stick on the vehicles because, I mean, at least Noah got a submarine with his shark. I mean, submarines can be cool. And then, yeah. And then afterwards, they're all talking about how they work better as a team, and, well, yeah, they talk about how well they're as a team, but since there was only like 30 seconds in the episode, that's all they could really say. Yeah. So we'll probably never figure out how they did on the pop quiz. The teacher plotline might become a running thing throughout the entire series. And, oh yeah, Noah solved the Rubik's Cube. But that wasn't at the end. That was when he left to go fight. When the teacher saw one of the alien spaceships. Which really, why does anyone not believe there are aliens since this one specifically states that all the other seasons happened? He should be old enough to remember Astronema's forces. Although I guess since, well, she looked human, I guess they thought it was all a clever plot, even though she was from KO-35. She looked human since humans live more places than Earth. But, yeah. Huh. But seriously, aliens exist. There was a full invasion. He's old enough. He should remember that. Nobody should doubt the fact that there are aliens. Now, the Loch Ness Monster and all that other stuff. Loch Ness Monster, yes. Ghosts? Hmm. Yeah, even though there's been ghosts on Power Rangers, most times it's been only to like one person or something, and not everybody sees it, and not everybody there saw it, and so they don't believe it that the ghost exists. And then the ghost appears behind them without showing their existence to the others because the ghost is a jerk. I know they're trying to be helpful, but really they're just being jerks or something like that. I don't really remember ghosts on. I don't really remember a lot of Power Rangers. It's just either I only remember what I really hate and what I really like. That's why I keep bringing up Team Spirit and Trading Places so much because I love trading. I love Team Spirit, but I hate Trading Places. The Super Samurai episode, not the movie. Cause the movie was okay. I can't remember anything since it's not one of my favorites, but I don't hate it. But it was okay. Yeah, I mean, like, I can sort of remember some things the more recent it is, like, um, say the Brendan Fraser Bedazzled, which I just watched last night. I can remember a few things. I can remember, like, my favorite scene in that, the one where he's speaking Spanish because he's like he wishes he was rich and powerful, and then the devil turns him into a Colombian drug lord. That scene was funny. I actually do like that movie a lot. Anyways, I'm getting off track. I always do that in case this is your first review of mine that you're watching. I always do that. Anyways, so yeah, I basically covered the entire episode. This one's actually looking like it's gonna be a short review. Unless I go on the internet and try to find out some other stuff. But no, I'm not gonna do that. This time I'm gonna try to keep myself as spoiler. I'm gonna try to make sure that I don't look up any spoilers whatsoever. Although I'm gonna end up doing it anyways when Power Rangers Megaforce takes a break. I'm gonna look up the TV tropes page, see everyone who's seen the Sentai puts up there, like wild mass guesses and all the tropes that apply to the future that may or may not happen in Power Rangers. I don't know. Hmm. So yeah. Uh, and yeah. So this is Dewey Finn 21 saying dream on, dream on, dream on, dream until the dream comes true.